KSI's recent decisions and statements have divided its fan base. KSI, who once won the love of millions, is now going in the opposite direction. In fact, I made this video not only to analyze the controversy behind his latest announcement, but also to show how he has lost touch with his fans. And this is just the beginning. It all started with a news that shocked the YouTuber boxing world. KSI announced that he would be stepping into the ring with 44-year-old retired soccer player Wayne Bridge. Wayne Bridge may be one of the legends of the Premier League, but in the world of boxing, that title doesn't really mean much. What's more, KSI's decision completely contradicts their own words. Having previously criticized Jake Paul for fighting retired fighters, KSI is now following a similar path. So how valid are KSI's criticisms in this situation? The fan reaction to this decision is much bigger than you can imagine. Wayne Bridge being a soccer legend doesn't work in the boxing ring, and KSI is undermining his own credibility with this choice. Given his years-long rivalry with Jake Paul, this decision is a serious blow to his standing. KSI's rhetoric of doing the right thing unfortunately seems to be out the window here. In this video, I will discuss in detail why KSI's move has been so criticized and why his fan base is increasingly turning against him. If you want to know the dynamics behind this whole story, stay tuned until the end.
Wayne Bridge. Aren't you the guy that let John Terry smash your ex?
Oh, you want to go there straight away, dear?
I'm pretty sure that's what you're known for.
Okay, you go there.
Vanessa, whoa! Vanessa, whoa!
29th, you'll find out.
She jumped on Terry's dick. It made
You'll find out.
big boy feel sick. Vanessa, whoa! Vanessa, whoa! You really want this?
You wanted it, mate. You can get it.
All right, then let's do it.
It's on it.
Let's do it, bro. Yeah, you felt that, huh? Yeah, I'm ready, bro. Let's go. Come on.
KSI's recent choices and statements have fallen out of favor with his fans. In this video, I want to point out KSI's contradictory actions. In particular, when we go through his old tweets, it is clear how invalid KSI's past criticisms have become. For example, when Jake Paul's coach said something about Anderson Silva a few weeks ago, KSI chose to remain silent about it. However, KSI himself announced that he will fight Wayne Bridge, a 44-year-old retired soccer player. Now, how is he going to explain this? A fighter, or even a non-retired Nate Diaz, would be a much more respectable opponent than Anderson Silva. Silva may be retired, but this guy has had a career as a fighter for years. Now, is KSI really taking a consistent stance by planning to fight the 44-year-old soccer player? If it's disrespectful to face a retired fighter, why make such a move with Wayne Bridge being so inexperienced? This certainly deepens the hypocrisy of KSI. In the past, KSI has repeatedly criticized Jake Paul for fighting retired fighters, getting in the ring with old guys. And now what? He's starting to make the same mistake in his own fighting career. He's criticizing Jake Paul for fighting 48-year-old retired fighter Anderson Silva, while he himself has agreed to fight Wayne Bridge. This calls into question KSI's confidence in himself, because everything he has said in the past contradicts what he is doing now. The fact that KSI has changed so drastically is shaking confidence in him. Fans can no longer ignore his inconsistent behavior. This video is an important example of how KSI is contradicting his own messages. This move could be a very important turning point in KSI's career. KSI is now planning to fight someone who has no boxing background at all. Anderson Silva was a retired fighter who was knocked out twice before fighting Jake Paul. So, is it hard to predict how KSI's fight with Wayne Bridge will turn out? Of course not. This looks like one of the most unfair matchups ever made in the fight world. We'll get closer to understanding the reason why KSI chose Wayne Bridge. But first, let's examine how this matchup turned out to be a completely ridiculous move. This is a completely ironic situation. In the past, KSI has constantly criticized Jake Paul, saying, "You only fight old retired fighters." Now he has decided to fight a retired soccer player, just like Jake Paul. KSI's decision to fight, in a sense, contradicts his own words. There are so many videos and tweets that we can clearly see that KSI is acting in the opposite way to what he said against Jake Paul. KSI, who doesn't dare to fight opponents his own age. what is he doing now? He's fighting old retired soccer players, which is really ironic. Now, let's consider why this announcement seems so ridiculous. KSI also revealed his difficulties after being beaten by Tommy Fury. Is there any risk? Number any difficulties? Number KSI is not picking an opponent who is really willing to fight. He's just putting on a show that he wants everyone to see. Fighting Wayne Bridge is not really a big step technically. Come on, let's be honest. It's a much worse move.
Who's going around? What was your reaction to the negative feedback?
I love it. I love it, man. I love the negativity. I love drawing a reaction from people. You know, for me, 2025, I want it to be a case where no matter what, you want to watch me. Whether I'm fighting Darren Till or Jake Paul or Conor McGregor or Wayne Bridge, Wayne Rooney, you know, footballer, actor, MMA fighter, boxer, whatever. I want you to watch me.
KSI's current behavior is like a manipulation to make us think that we should really still watch him. He has become someone who loves negative criticism, negative feedback. He wants so much attention that he doesn't even care if the reactions are negative. He says, I want to get negative feedback. I want to get reactions from people. And he sees it as an achievement in a sense. It's really interesting, isn't it? KSI's goal is to be watched and talked about no matter what. The important thing is what kind of people he gets reactions from, because he knows he can use that as an opportunity. Even who he fights, whether it's a soccer player or an MMA fighter, he's gonna use it to get the attention of his audience. The bottom line is that KSI now sees any way he can just to keep himself in the spotlight. No matter what, people have to watch, react, and talk about him. In 2025, it doesn't matter who he fights. What matters is that we all keep talking. Does he realize how much trouble he has put himself in, or does he think this strategy will make him even more popular? It may take time to see the answer to this debate. Right now, people who want to fight are trying to get in the ring with people who don't have a boxing record. Anderson Silva was knocked out twice before he fought Jake Paul, and it's not hard to predict how this fight will go. By deciding to fight Wayne Bridge, KSI has made one of the most unfair matchups. This choice contradicts his past criticism of Jake Paul. KSI is now imitating Jake Paul, whom he accused of fighting old and retired fighters. KSI shows that he is looking for easy wins without taking any real risks. He prefers not to fight opponents at his level and always fights easier opponents. Although he promotes himself as the best boxer, it is clear that his rhetoric does not match the reality. When faced with a real challenge, he backs down immediately. This diminishes the viewer's respect for him. KSI likes to deal with negative criticism, and this has become part of his strategy, but this doesn't stop him from swimming in safe waters. The later withdrawal of Wayne Bridge shows that KSI not only fights, but also violates personal space. These fights should make KSI question its own strategy, because the real challenge should come from their own behavior, not from their opponents. KSI interviewed a 44-year-old retired soccer player who plans to fight seriously, but it's complete nonsense. He stops fighting opponents his own age and starts targeting old men. What he did against Wayne Bridge was also really unfortunate. The way he got into a personal issue made him look like an idiot. The reason why KSI gets so much hate is because he's just looking for easy wins instead of actually challenging. No one appreciates that kind of behavior, especially most people other than kids making negative comments about him. KSI sold tickets for his fight with Jake Paul, tricking people with the promise of a fake fight. This kind of thing is really disgusting and has completely destroyed KSI's credibility. Just like the VIP tickets he promised in 2022 were never given out, he is trying to do the same thing again. It would be better for everyone if this kind of nonsense is no longer spread on social media platforms. Don't forget to share your thoughts on KSI in the comments. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more of this news.